Hey, my name's Jack.
I'm Sean.
And we're colouring, and we are hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
I was telling you guys earlier, like I caught you guys last time at the Greek Theater, and I felt like it's been already 2 years. Like I've been waiting for this show to come back. But you know, from that first time that you guys came to LA to perform to now, like how much do you guys feel you guys have progressed as far as the live show goes?
Well, that tour was we were supporting the 975, and we learned so much from that tour. Like those guys, they know how to put on a show. So definitely, I feel like. Yeah, it kind of changed a lot for us, I think, as a band. We kind of started thinking just differently about how we play shows and how we think about how we present ourselves and stuff.
I think we learned a lot from American crowds as well. You guys give so much. We were itching to get back over here and like play for you guys again because you know, you just give so much to the people on stage. It's wicked.
Right. I mean, you guys definitely made an impact because, you know, walking up here, there is a crowd already out there for you guys. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's safe to say you guys should have gotten a bigger venue.
I think they came for tomorrow. No,
They're just lined up for tomorrow's show.
Yeah. No, that's nuts. Yeah, someone just told me that, which is crazy. We've never had that. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. That's pretty mad. Yeah. So yeah.
Let's talk about the new single, Time. This is a more popular track from your previous music. What kind of inspired this track, and how different was the writing process for this one?
I remember, it's funny, I remember when I kind of started the song, and you were coming over to record something. I don't remember either, in our, my bedroom kind of studio. And I think I needed Sean on another song. And I knew he was coming at like 11 or something. So I was like, I'm going to just, I think I was going away or something like the next day.
The next day, yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to go get some ideas now before I go away.
Right.
And I was like, I had this song and it just came out. So I did it really quickly, and I remember coming over, but I'd written it in the wrong key. So I was singing it so out of tune, and every time I was recording it, I'd turn around and Sean would be like, "Oh," that was just really terrible, like awful.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah. And you were like, "Really?" And I was like, "No, this is gonna be good." And I thought it was dropped it down a key, it was fine. But we definitely, I think, we just wanted something that was just pretty kind of out and out. Yeah. Is what it is, and at first we kind of, I don't know, is like, can we do this? Is this kind of our? I mean, it's not like totally out of anything we've done before, but
no, it's definitely not. It's definitely not. But I like that it's different. I like that you guys are you know, changing it up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. It took on a kind of few terms, but we started playing it when we started playing it last year, when we did actually support the 975, and the crowds kind of really responded to it well, and we kind of thought, okay, maybe this is a good one. Yeah. So we're really pleased with how it's turned out. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Well, it seemed like you kind of challenged yourself too because of the music video. You had to learn the choreography for that as well, and you know,
the suit. I've got like marks all over the knees from like kneeling in like a swimming pool.
You came straight from the video shoot.
Yeah, exactly. I just dried off. Yeah.
So what was that like for you, like learning the choreography for the music video? Because you were here by yourself. The band was not here.
Yeah. Well, I kind of had this idea that it'd be really cool. It's cool to see someone who cannot dance at all.
It made me feel good about my dance moves. It's okay.
So I was like, maybe we could try something. And someone mentioned Matty, the director, and he kind of came up with this cool idea. And day one, I went in and sort of he kind of came with this kind of routine. And at the end of the day, I was kind of like that's really cool, but I can't make this look very good, and you know that. And he was like, yeah, well, you know, being very nice about it. But I kind of started talking. We were talking, wanted to do something more about the kind of the movement and the kind of the approach to dance, and and how, you know, like anything in art, you know, if it's honest and it's you, like that's what, like some of my favorite singers are kind of crap and not very good, but to me they're brilliant, like, because, like, you know, I think Dylan or Tom Waits are a great singer, but technically they're not. But so anyway, we kind of thought about approaching the dance thing that way, and making it more about feeling. With that song, the lyrics are kind of definitely about that, and had this idea of a guy kind of losing his mind and stuff, and Matty came up with this great thing, and it was great. It was definitely scary to kind of try it, but I trusted what he was doing, and he just made it look incredible. It was beautiful.
I mean, it looked great. You looked comfortable. That was the thing, that, you know, knowing that you didn't know how to dance, and then seeing that, like, you looked like you were comfortable doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Matt, he does. I mean, he's phenomenal dancer. But he kept saying to me, he has this really cool thing which made me think a lot, actually. And he just kept saying, he kind of says, I wish I could do what you can do. And because what I think he meant by that was that he's learnt so many things which he can't get out of now, because he's a phenomenal dancer. Right. But he wants to be naive again, and he wants to be lose knowledge and stuff. And he's like, sometimes I wish I could do that, because he's looking at me going, well, that's not wrong, but like naturally he would do other things and stuff. Right. So I thought that was really interesting, and definitely something like, again, with like music, sometimes when you hear like a kid or something sing, it's really inspiring, because, you know, it's total freedom and feeling and stuff. And so that was really cool. So he made me feel very comfortable. Yeah, definitely.
No, that's awesome. And going back to this track, like, this is the first release off of the upcoming debut album for Interscope Records. What was it about this track that, you know, because it was different, like, why did you choose to release it first before anything else?
I think it's quite like it's a decent indication of where we're going with this album. Okay. There's going to be a few more like pop tracks on it. And it was one we wanted to get out quite quickly after that 1975 tour, as we said earlier. Yeah. It was generating a great response from these American crowds, and we were really excited about it as a result of that. So we wanted to get it out first and say, right, this is where we're going. Here's what's coming, kind of thing.
Now, can we still expect on the debut album? Can we still expect like the more piano songs, the more, you know, the strings that you guys have been adding? Like, can we expect something like that as well? Because I think that's what kind of caught my attention of you guys in the first place. You know, listening to those kind of tracks and like those moody tracks, like it just, you know, made me want to hear more.
Yeah, no, definitely. We kind of have always been interested in like this idea of merging, like, because we're like learning as like writers and producers and stuff, and like players and things, like we just want to try everything. And so we've always been interested by the idea of like merging like modern kind of electronic sounds with like more traditional strings and pianos and things like that. And so definitely, we kind of, with this record, we kind of had this idea of just trying everything and just and pushing ourselves and seeing what happens, you know, seeing what we can do and see how tall we are, kind of thing. So yeah, I feel there's some kind of more kind of traditional, like smaller arrangements, and then some more bigger and kind of more poppy and maybe more modern arrangements too. So
I think the strings is something we got really excited about on this album. We to sit in the studio and get like string players in and watch them sort of interpret our work was incredible.
It must give the song, I feel like it would give the song like a whole new life.
Yeah, completely. It was sort of made me speechless in the studio so many times hearing it. It's gorgeous. Yeah, so
it's kind of like the dream for any like musician, is to have strings on your music. I feel anyway, it's like the original kind of where it kind of came from.
Feels like the real deal then, right?
Yeah, I know.
You guys are almost there. Now for the Heathens EP, you guys, George Daniel kind of produced a track with you guys on that. Is he on board on this album as well? And if so, like, how many songs did he work on, and what other producers did you guys work with as far as this record goes?
He's not actually, no, he's not on this one. He's super busy at the moment making another record, and he's like a machine, that guy. He's just constantly can do anything and try his hand at anything. Right. But that was amazing to work with him. We had this idea for that song for so long, and it was kind of one of the first things we kind of really had for colouring, and we just couldn't finish it. It was just one of those ones, and he always said to me, you know, he was kind of always a bit of a follower from the start, and we knew him a little bit, and he said, you know, anytime, like, send me music and stuff. And so I thought I'd ask him a favor this time, and he just sent back within like an hour over an email like this like drum loop on it, and just sounded just like him, and it just made me laugh so much. I remember just thinking, wow, like, can we do this? But it was so cool, and it was a joy to work with him. But I mean, with the album, we've been working with this guy Miko Gordon, who's just, I mean, like a wizard. He's just we've known him for years now, and he's
from back home in London.
Yeah, he lives just down the road, kind of from where I live, and he's brilliant. He's worked on some great stuff, and he's just really helped we've produced like bits and pieces of it and things, so it's like been great like working with him, because he has things that we can't do, and I think like likewise as well. So with him, and then another guy called Luca Busciolati, who we'd worked on with more on like the earlier EPs as well. Okay. So yeah, it's kind of like the three of us really.
Now, as you guys went into the studio to record this album, being the fact that you guys started from playing small venues to going to 8,000, you know, fan shows to, you know, now doing your own intimate show and still kind of working on the record, how did that kind of like influence the record? Like, do you think about that live set when you guys are in the studio creating that record?
I think so. I think a lot of the time we'll be so involved in the studio, and then we do have to think, how is this gonna, you know, where are we going to take this when we go live? Right. Sometimes it works either way. Sometimes it's nice to finish a song completely in the studio and then come back to it and think about it in a live setting, and sometimes then you can get really interesting sort of new ways of playing tunes and new interpretations, which I find quite exciting when I go see other bands. But no, very often I think a lot of us, one of us will mention, you know, during the writing of a song, this bit's going to be great live, or maybe we should add this in because it'll be better live, kind of thing. I think live music is such a huge part of all our lives, and we love playing it. It's always going to be there in the back of our mind. How is this going to be when we get to play it live for everyone else, you know?
Yeah. And it definitely like changed. We came back from that tour and definitely, like I say, kind of made us think differently about us as a band and like music, and thinking that seeing how songs that the 1975 or like Pale Waves, stuff like that, what they were kind of, how they make their crowd kind of feel engaged and stuff like that. And it definitely was something that was really interesting to kind of to look at. But I mean, yeah, I think it's. I hope so. I mean, it definitely like the live thing. Hopefully, like they can translate live. So,
right. So. You kind of read my mind right now, because my next question was, you know, the fact that you guys were playing with Pale Waves and LANY and 1975. Did that kind of influence how you create your music? Did that change your writing style in any way? Did that change your recording style in any way?
Yeah, definitely. Well, more just like I think that came under the idea of like knowing kind of what your kind of who you are as a band, like your kind of lane, and so like 1975 and Pale Waves as well, a great example. Just people just kind of know who they are immediately. Like you see Heather and you know who she is. You know what you're kind of getting. I mean, and that's like really hard to do. Like when the Arctic Monkeys came on the scene, this like 17-year-old kid he just knew who he was. He was made instantly, and he's still Alex Turner. And so that's like really, I feel like those people, like I have so much respect for those guys who just know, and they're constantly like consistent with it. And so yeah, LANY as well, like he's Paul's a great friend of ours, and just like, again, he just like sets his mind to it and he goes with it. So it's, yeah, I think that was the main learning lesson for us, yeah. Right.
So now you guys are back here in the States, finally. You guys are back in the States doing a small US run. How soon can we expect this debut album on Interscope? Is there a set date yet? Are you guys still in the studio recording?
We're actually, I don't know if we can't even say this. We're like, we're thinking of putting it out in parts. So the idea is kind of, it's quite a long record. And so we're going to put it out in like.
I'm okay with a long record. Right. I'm okay with as much music as possible.
Well, yeah, we've been working on it all for a long time. It's like 16 bits. So we kind of thought, why don't we just split it into 4 parts?
16 bits.
16, yeah, 16.
So coming out in 2021.
Yeah. So that's hopefully the first one. The first kind of quartet is going to be coming out like next month, and then we're kind of just going to keep doing it like that. Kind of rather than doing like traditional, more like 3 singles album or whatever. Yeah. We just thought, why don't we just give as much music as possible? Like that's fun and like a bit different for a band. So yeah, I think I'm excited about it. I'm really forward to it. It's gonna be great.
Well, I definitely can't wait for that. Thanks for hanging out with me. Like I was watching the show at the Greek Theater last year, and I was like, I should have interviewed these guys like right before. But you know, I'm glad we kind of made it happen. For those fans that haven't heard of you guys yet, what makes Coloring so different from any other artist out there today?
We wear red suits, which is quite, you know. Yeah, sure, we got it. So and yeah, they have stains on them from dancing in swimming pools. I think that's about it. That's about it.
Red suits, dancing in swimming pools.
Yeah.
Summary done.